Are we live? Are we live? Let's hope this all works.
I think so.
Hey, this is Roy Richardson, Tech Troublemaker, and this is a very special, exciting episode. Tonight, we're going to talk about NFTs, and you're going to say, what are NFTs? Hang on, we'll get to that. And you're going to say, well, what are NFTs? No, seriously, hang on. We're going to get to that. I'm very excited. I have my very special guest, Kurt Grella, who was on our Bitcoin episode, which a lot of people have liked and asked about, and I really appreciate you guys watching. And I'm going to take a deep breath and slow down. Because, I get excited and I go really fast, so I'm going to slow down now. All right, so, are you guys ready? Let's go. So, hey, Kurt, how you doing there tonight?
Good. How are you, Roy? Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thank you so much for agreeing to come on here. We're going to cover a lot of material, so much so that I'm going to wait and do shout outs and questions later. We're going to do first part. We're going to talk about what are NFTs, and then we'll get into how to make your own and the process of selling them and buying them and all that. So we'll get there. We'll be there. Just hang on. It's going to happen. So, all right. And as I like to say, let's go to the boards. All right. First of all, there's Kurt. And by the way, Kurt is on Twitter at Kurt Grella. Got to go on Twitter. You got to go and say hi to him. And also follow 101 Blockchain Street. Hey, I probably should let you hype your own stuff.
Sure. Thank you.
So anyway, all right. We'll get started. And now's when I click the right button. And there we go. All right. So what are NFTs? No, seriously, what are non-fungible tokens? So non-fungible tokens are a special kind of crypto asset in which each token is unique, as opposed to fungible tokens or fungible assets like Bitcoin or dollar bills. Basically, it's a concept, fungible is where 2 nickels equals a dime, that type of thing. But, non-fungible, the assets are, always work exactly the same. But with NFT, everyone's unique. I like to think of it as kind of like a certificate of ownership or, a certificate of authenticity. And here's my disclaimer. NFTs and cryptocurrency are speculative. It's like the stock market. So any advice you get from experts should be evaluated for truthiness. And NFTs are like stock in that they can lose all their value or they can gain value. And of course, your mileage may vary. All right, and then this is more about non-fungible. Zoom in on the screen, read it real quick, and we're going to skip it. It's just too much. So I should let you talk about this. So fungible, since economics here. Fungible versus non-fungible. Kurt, what's your thought on that?
So it's right, as you expressed there on the screen, fungible is changeable, non-fungible is not changeable. So it could be a ticket, could be artwork, could be a piece of music, and it's kind of broken down into ownership pieces. So it's like an ownership certificate, and it's logged on the blockchain.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to say, it's really fun to say non-fungible for some reason too. I don't know why. It's just a fun word. So, all right. Seriously, what is a non-fungible token? And Kurt's going to tell us.
So the way it works or what's happening right now is a lot of people are like, when you sell art today, you go to the gallery and they offer, like, you have your artwork all around the walls, and then it's a one-time sale. But in the world of NFTs, those artists now can get residual income from those art pieces because you could never really track the owner of that artwork. And now that you can track it, you can earn royalties from it. So people are creating collections using software on the internet. I think there's a software called Blender. There's a couple other ones, but they're creating collections of artwork, and then people are buying it, and then immediately there's a market for people to buy and sell artwork, and then the artist earns a royalty from it.
All right, cool. And why are people buying NFTs? Again, why has it gone so crazy all of a sudden?
Yeah, it's definitely crazy. Some of them gone up 10x, some of them gone up 100x. So some of them are very limited edition. So Maybe there's only 10 for sale or 100 for sale, and there's 5,000 people that want it. So definitely, when there's high demand, the price goes up. And in terms of the quality, some of it's high quality artwork, and some of it's like, why is someone buying this? Like, I'll give you a couple examples later in the show, but it's also somewhat of a mania, right? It's new, things are going up, and people want to participate. And a lot of the collections, there aren't enough for the people who want them.
All right, so how do I buy NFTs? And here's some of the exchanges. There's others, of course, but here's some of them. And later, Kurt will like do a demo. We'll show you some sites and such. And then, like Kurt said, digital art and games and virtual worlds. Somebody paid like $12 million to own property in a virtual world. You can do music, you can do film. Major NBA's been doing basically baseball, basketball cards that show like live action moments that highlights from a game in kind of a GIF type loop and selling those. And then Beeple, who was basically doing artwork like every day, he took all those pieces of artwork that he was posting on Instagram and made this one piece of artwork, and it sold for a record $69.3 million at Christie's auction house. So, and this is digital, and
Let's go back one.
All right.
So the one thing about Beeple is he got $69.3 million in Ethereum. And Ethereum at the time was about, I think, $2,000.
Wow.
And now Ethereum's $4,000. And I think he sold some of his Ethereum, or a lot of his Ethereum. So it could have been actually worth 130 million or 140 million. It's just crazy to think.
That's just crazy. Just crazy. All right. So now, and then next up, Jack Dorsey, who is stepping down as CEO of Twitter, but he sold his first tweet for $2.9 million. And yeah. And here's the thing that you got to think about this is that, so you can make multiple copies. I made a copy of the first tweet, so there it is. So that's not the original, but basically you're taking that image and you're tying it to the blockchain transaction code to say this is an original, authentic. You can make as many copies as you want, but you can't make this one. This one is done. Here's people have been making NFTs out of different memes. Nine Cat sold for $560,000. Charlie Bit My Finger sold for $760,000.
I like that video. Charlie Bit My Finger.
That is a funny video. In fact, he put his finger back in the kid's mouth again. Anyway, and then Disaster Girl sold for $500,000. I mean, crazy, just crazy. All right, now I want to go back. So, talk about this concept. How are people basically saying this is the only one of this thing using blockchain?
So basically the way it works is they register it on a particular blockchain. There's many blockchains. There's the Ethereum blockchain, there's the Solana blockchain, there's Stacks blockchain, there's a Bitcoin blockchain. So you register that piece of work on that blockchain, it's logged with a transaction ID, and therefore it's right there. And then if you want to sell it, then you can. It's traceable.
Very cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm just fascinated by this whole process. It's just crazy that this is how this works. Let's see if I hit the right button. There we go. Cool. All right, so roll call. I want to do a shout out here. Big Red's out there. How you doing tonight, Big Red? What's up, man? My wife's out there. Hey, how you doing? Yeah. I'm excited about you guys being here. Do you guys have any questions so far? This is where we're at. What are your questions about NFTs? We're going to do more questions later, so don't worry, you'll get another chance. I'm going to move on. All right. So next up, can I make digital art and sell it as NFTs? I mean, how can I make an NFT? How do I sell an NFT? What are these gas fees I'm hearing about? And I have to have a crypto wallet in order to do the NFTs? What's the deal? And this when you want to do a demo?
Sure.
All right, let's break out the demo time. So we'll share Kurt's screen. You ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
Let's do this. All right, cool.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can. I see
Alrighty,
top
so
NFTs.
perfect. So OpenSea is like the eBay for NFTs right now. One of the NFTs that you probably heard about was CryptoPunks. So in terms of volume, almost 11,000 Ethereum. So Ethereum is $4,000 roughly. So you multiply that, and that's how much has been traded. It actually says it's down 76% in terms of maybe this volume is just, I don't know if this is in the last 24 hours or this is the last 7 days here. Yeah, we'll stay with last 7 days, but that's crazy. But it was
Yeah.
higher 7 days ago. Oh no, 24 hours ago. And then 7 days ago, it's up 160%. Yeah, you can, oh, sorry, I just moved my screen. Okay, there's 3,300 owners, and there's 10,000 in this collection. Okay, so the average person owns about 3 CryptoPunks. I'll actually try to see if I can go inside, and I'll give you a preview. So look at these images. Why are people paying so much for a pixelated, small little image, right? Like this one is 4.25 Ethereum. This is $16,000 for this picture right there. This one's almost 24 Ethereum. So this is 100 grand for this picture.
It's the earring. I think it's the earring.
It could be something, but and I think these are the number. Actually, this is the number. Sometimes there's the rarity where you can see of the 10,000. Is this like the number one, or is this the number two? But these are just, I think, the numbers of the image. But yeah, this one's going for, was that 4 million, or is that 40? Maybe that's $4 million,
Wow.
or maybe that's
crazy.
$400,000. I can't do my multiplication on the fly. But yeah,
You can't do
you
math
pay-
live. That's one of the rules of live streaming. You can't do math live ever.
So the question is, like, why would you pay for something like this? Typically, what happens is it's somewhat of a mania. People see it going up. People buy. They expect to sell it to someone else for a higher price. But eventually, I mean, markets like this come to realization there has to be some type of utility to this. So if you bought this, what does it give you? So one of the attributes of an NFT is it gives you access to a community. So you're part of the cyberpunks community, or you're access to other NFTs. But essentially, it's a community It's a community built around the NFT.
So
that's
it's Pokemon cards. So you're in the Cyberpunks Pokemon card group.
Yeah. So, I mean, so what I did is I went to OpenSea/rankings, and you can just see all the activity. It's not like, 1,000 people on the internet are talking crazy about NFTs. It's probably I'd say like 1 million people talking about this. And they're buying and selling. So that's one. This is the Ethereum blockchain. And what the downside of this is, you've probably heard about high gas fees. So right now on Ethereum, there are high gas fees. So gas fee is like when you want to purchase this, and actually the transaction fee is about, let's say, $50 to $75 to buy this. But of course you're like, well, if I'm paying $4 million, does it really matter? So it probably doesn't matter when you're paying that much money. But it is high gas fees. So there's others that have come along, like Solana. So Solana is a new blockchain in the last, I'd say, 2 years. But it's the same idea. There's collections, there's a marketplace, there's artists that are looking to sell their artwork. Pick one, Roy. Which one do you want me to click on?
Let's see. Wow, this is tough. Let's do Nyan Heroes.
Okay, so let's dive into this.
It's not doing too well right now, though, but yeah.
This collection has 11,111 items, and that's interesting. There's only 282 owners. So that means the average person, owns 5 of these or 50 of them? But you can see the artwork's a little better. Like it's better quality. I'm not sure about the community of this, but it's more of like what's the community, what's the access, what does this get you by buying into this community? It's kind of like a ticket into an event, but in this case, it's a ticket into the community. But I forget how much a Solera is at. Maybe it's 200 or 225. So this one's more than $1,000, and you can, in this case, you can bid on it. It looks like. Okay, so that's Solana blockchain. So
Okay.
there's Ethereum, Solana. There's another blockchain called Stacks. So it's the same idea. There's a marketplace, different collections. So about 2 months ago, there were 4 options here,
Wow.
and now there's like 80. These are all the different ones that have gone to market, and some of them didn't sell out. Some of them sold out in 10 minutes. Some of them are just taken. Some of them are actually. Let me see if I can click on one. So the Future of Money was an actual artist. The guy was about, I think, 80 or 85 years old, and he's selling his artwork on the internet. And I heard his presentation last Friday live. He had never earned residual sales ever in his career. This will be the first time where he can earn, let's say, five. If this one sells, he can earn 5% of this value.
Hmm.
So all he needed was a wallet, and the royalties just stream in as things are sold. And then if the seller sells it, then he gets more. So it's actually very beneficial for the artist. But you can see some of these actually look the same. They're different colors. This one's actually flashing. I'm not sure how he did it. And it's this one's black and white. This one's color. Some of them are. I mean, this is like $1,500. So like, who? You'd have to really like this. So like, what if you
Yeah.
bought this? What does it give you? I mean, you can say you own it, but is it part of the community? Do you support the artist? So that's the stocks blockchain. And then there's two more that I'm going to show you. This one is crypto.com. I've got a couple friends who actually use this one. They started trading crypto with crypto.com, and then they launched NFTs. And you'll recognize like UFC,
Right.
and it's the same deal though. It's like some of these are super high, some of them are super low. But these are, if you want to browse, I definitely encourage you just to browse and see what's there. If you want to buy anything, be cautious. As Roy was saying, it's like it could go up higher, but it also could go down. Who knows how long the market will last? What I tend to do is actually, I really focus on what does this get me? Like, does it get me access to this community? Does it give me access to more NFT drops? So that's kind of what I take into consideration. And then finally, Coinbase, which you've probably heard of because it's been out for about, what, 6, 8 years now. And you can see there's so much interest in NFTs. They're like, well, we're going to do the same thing. They're going to launch an NFT marketplace. And when you click this link where it says join waitlist, I think there was like 1 million people who joined within 24 hours. And then within 72 hours, there was like another 1 million people.
Wow.
Oh, and this is like 2 or 3 weeks ago. So once Coinbase opens up the market, like Coinbase is now a public company. I don't know how many customers it has, but let's say this is, I don't know, between the 2 or 3 of these websites, it's, I don't know, 1 million people, 2 million people. Coinbase, let's say, has 20 million customers. It's automatically going to 5 times what's already on the market.
Wow.
Yeah, it's quite impressive.
Now, so the gas fees, if you're doing Ethereum, the gas fees, I understand it, were basically you're paying somebody to do the mining of your NFTs. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yeah, it's correct. The miners earn the fees to mine the transaction. It's
Okay.
very similar to Visa MasterCard, I think. I mean, Visa MasterCard, when you swipe your card at the restaurant, Visa or MasterCard, American Express, they take like 1%, 2%, or 3%. So the restaurant actually doesn't get the full price of the check. They give the money to MasterCard, Visa, or American Express.
That's why it's good to be a credit card company.
It's a great, I mean, if you make money on the transactions, whether it's 1%, 2%, or 3%,
Yeah,
like
that's true.
there's a lot of money to be made if you've got the marketplace.
All right, so I made this amazing artwork. Now you mentioned Blender. That's one of the programs you mentioned that you can make your own NFTs, so to speak, make your own artwork, and then the next part of that is that you have to have a crypto wallet. Okay, and so what is the process? What would I have to do to get my NFTs listed somewhere? What's all the steps? The big high level steps. So I've got to have a crypto wallet. I've certainly got to have a series of artworks. It seems like series are the best bet, that you can do the best with those. Creating just an individual work doesn't seem to do very well. I've seen some other exchanges where people sold just one thing and like nobody was buying anything.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like launching a book, right? If you just come out with a book and say, "Here's my book," people really aren't ready for it. So you need like a launch plan, and you need to build anticipation of the NFT. I mean, of course, it helps if you're famous or like you've got previous artwork to share, but it could be that your artwork just stands by itself and people are like, "Wow, this is amazing." Or you write about it on a blog and people see it, and eventually organically it grows. Like you can see there's a create button right here on OpenSea. You press
And,
create and it takes you through the process.
okay.
Let me see here. So this is your wallet, and some of these websites you can actually create your images on the website. Some of them you can just import. And then other times, a lot of these websites are having like artist accelerators. They really want to reach out to artists who need help getting on these platforms, right? Because if the artwork's not there, like people will only buy these things for so long, right?
Right.
At least that's my take, right? Is this going to stay like this for 5 or 10 years? Maybe it will because there's a strong community against like for it. Um, but if this goes to millions of dollars, I, I don't know about that. I mean, it's a very select few, I
I,
guess.
I think here's what the Louvre needs to go and take pictures of all of the artwork there, like the Mona Lisa, and then make NFTs of the pictures and sell those. That'd be a good way for museums to raise money for artists that aren't around anymore. Hey, we can still make money off of you, so but we don't have to
It's
sell the painting.
Yeah, I would have never thought I got into crypto to actually buy artwork, right? Um, I just never expected that turn, but I do see the usefulness of having it tracked in the blockchain and having royalties stream back to the artist. Like, imagine being an artist and you're creating things every single day, or sometimes you have spurts of like creativity and you're creating 5 things a day, but then you don't know how to sell it or it doesn't sell and it just doesn't work out. So now online, you can have a portfolio and earn residual income
Hmm.
and then build the community around it. Because if things sell quickly, I'm sure that your next collection will instantly sell out as well.
Yeah, yeah. So let me ask you this. So we talked some on our blockchain and our cryptocurrency episode, and we talked about crypto wallets. So one thing I noticed that like for example, there's not very many options here. Well, there's a lot of options, but I know like if oh now I see Coinbase wallet. When I literally went out there a week ago, Coinbase wallet, I did not see it as an option. No, I was on crypto.com. That's what it
Mm,
was. And crypto.com did not have Coinbase as an option as a wallet. Um, I guess we should do like a brief snippet about a Bitcoin wallet and how you need to keep it highly secure. And you just got to think of it as like it's got to have the most complex password possible so you can keep it safe. But will you talk a little bit about crypto wallets?
sure. So I think the reason why crypto.com doesn't have a wallet is because they have their own wallet,
Mm-hmm.
and their own wallet has multiple blockchains. So like you can
Okay.
have the Bitcoin in there, Ethereum, and Solana. Like they're also not just an NFT platform. They're actually a crypto exchange that has many different things. So I don't think they would want to, and they're competing against Coinbase. They don't
Right.
want to send you to Coinbase.
That makes sense.
But but let's say you set up a crypto wallet. So you'll you'll go to a website, whether it's Coinbase or a different crypto wallet like MetaMask that you saw. Where was I? Here. So you can go to MetaMask, and of course, in the App Store, there's a lot of, or there used to be a lot of, like, is this the real one? And so what I actually do is I go to Twitter and I try to find the right one for MetaMask, and it's usually the one with like a lot of followers, like a couple 100,000 followers. I click the link, and it takes me to download the wallet into Chrome. Most of this works in Chrome right now.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
will
I've seen
say
them.
that Apple recently, in the last month or so, wants to explore like plugins to their browser, and so there is some talk of doing wallets inside of Safari.
Hmm.
But what will happen is you'll click the MetaMask, you'll download the add-in. The add-in will go up to your browser here, and it will give you a phrase. It could be 12 words, 16 words, 24 words, and you got to write that down. That's your seed phrase. That's something that you don't want to save on your computer, because if you save it on like Evernote, if you save it on your email, that's all hackable, right?
Yeah.
You want to write it down on a piece of paper and save it. Because if your wallet ever needs to be reset, that seed phrase will bring it back to life. Like that seed phrase is embedded inside the blockchain. And then in addition to that, you're going to set a password. So you'll have the seed phrase and the password. And so normally you only need the seed phrase if you set up a brand new computer, or if you lose access to your password, you can do it's kind of like a hard reset.
Right. Cool. Okay. So I've got my crypto wallet and I created my artwork, and then I go on one of these exchanges. I can go and list my artwork somehow. I guess, so do I have to pay a fee to list it? I guess that's, if you're using Ethereum, that's that gas fee. Or that's the
So
fee somebody pays
you
when they buy
probably
it.
do. I don't know the listing fee.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it could probably change. Maybe the buyer's currently paying the listing fee.
Okay.
Market dynamics may change at different times in this NFT world, but I don't actually know who pays it.
Okay.
But I'm sure it's probably a small amount. If it is, it's a percent usually.
Now, Microsoft gave me some NFTs when Windows 11 came out, so I have to figure out
Did it really?
where I can sell those anyway. Okay. Kurt, this has been awesome. Let's go out and see if we got any more questions.
Okay.
And let's, yep. All right. Let's see. Big Red says, hang on, if my mouse wants to cooperate. Big Red says, is NFT registering done in the same way as a patent being registered?
So patent is definitely registered with the government, and of course, if it's like a U.S. patent, it's registered here. An NFT is registered on like a global blockchain, so it's probably an easier process to register an NFT, because you're just creating, like, you're going to click create. It could be an image, or you're creating it and it's documented on the blockchain.
All right.
So, and the patents, I think you need to renew them for like NFT blockchain stuff. I don't think you need to renew anything at the moment.
No, yeah. Okay. Then Big Red asked, does flooding the market drop prices like most physical items? I think the laws of supply and demand say yes, always.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at this thing is down 76% in the last 24 hours. So, I think that maybe that's just volume is down.
Yeah. Well, the other part of that, with Bitcoin dropping, Ethereum kind of took a hit as well, didn't it?
It did. Everything kind of sunk the last 3 days. Like, it was down 25% across the board. Some things have bounced back, but it definitely impacts it. Because let's say 49 Ethereum was 200 grand 3 days ago, but 49 Ethereum today is 25% less, right?
Yeah.
So are people going to log in here and reduce the price? Like, what I find ends up happening is people think in Ethereum terms or Bitcoin terms. They no longer think in dollar terms. Like, if I bought this NFT for 49 Ethereum, I would only sell it for higher than 49 Ethereum. Like, I wouldn't even think of it in dollar terms.
Yeah, that makes sense. Can you exchange one form of crypto to another if it's required to purchase certain pieces?
Yeah, you can definitely go to the crypto exchanges. There's crypto.com, there's Coinbase, there's a couple other ones that you can buy Ethereum, you can buy Solana, you can buy stacks. And if you were to purchase that button, like if you were to press buy, it would launch your wallet and it would confirm that you have 100 stacks. This symbol is 100 stacks. If you didn't, it would fail. And it's the same thing for all these. Like it would confirm that you had 49 Ethereum before the transaction would be complete.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, and definitely in this exchange, if you have Bitcoin, you can trade it for Ethereum. If you got Ethereum, you can trade it for this, so many different ones. So if the exchange supports those different Bitcoins, Coinbase only supports certain ones, and there's others that support others. So they just recently put Doge on Coinbase. So anyway, it wasn't out there for a long time, and I wanted to buy someone, but it was fun. But now Doge is not fun because Elon Musk killed it. I think it'll come back though. So, Kurt, tell us about 101 Blockchain Street and about your fun adventures on Twitter and how people can connect with you, and then also the top 10 list, and also your newsletter you send out daily of even more information than just those top 10.
Sure. So I started 101 Blockchain Street during the last bull cycle, but back in 2017. And I started it actually 3 years after I got into kind of Bitcoin. So I was in it 3 years before, and I was like, I just need to publish my thoughts. My friends keep texting me. Let me just create an email list and say, here's what I'm thinking about. Here's the tweets I see interesting. People don't like to stay on Twitter, but over the last 10 years, my Twitter feed, like things float to the top. Like I get access to information where people who just joined Twitter don't have access to. So I'm like, let me just take the next, excuse me. Let me just take out of like, let's say 500 tweets, let me just take the top 10 and send them out. So I also do some training on courses and things like that.
Oh, cool. Oh, so if people want to reach out to you on Twitter to talk to you about taking a course, what's the best way?
Yeah. In fact, if you're interested in NFTs, I'm running a promotion right now where if you like my tweet, I need to reach 500 likes. Right now I'm at like 150. So I need to have like 350 more people like my post or like my tweet. And I'm giving away 12 NFTs, and they're definitely significant value. And I'm doing that because I'm trying to win a competition with one of the exchanges called OKCoin, where I'm trying to win $5,000 in Bitcoin, but I have to have 500 likes. So that's why I'm giving it away.
Oh, cool. Yeah, so we have to all go get on Twitter and like that tweet. I liked it yesterday and then shared it out, and hopefully it brought you some traffic. I don't do enough with Twitter. I need to do more out there. But also I know you have a newsletter that you have as a subscription that people can subscribe to if they want more than just the top 10 tweets of the day.
Yeah, the top 20 tweets is my entry level kind of, people are interested in just getting started, and then newsletters kind of, you get the alerts and things like that. The last thing I want to share is, like, if you're an artist and you're looking to get involved, Stacks is offering a brand new NFT like accelerator where they're picking 10 people. So that's not a lot of folks, I know, but this is just announced in the last week or so. So if you're an artist and you have interest in how does this all work, they're going to do a 30-day program with you.
That's awesome. Probably those 10 people are going to blow up because they're going to get all the publicity from this. So that's going to be amazing.
Yeah, I think it's a community effort too, right? Because if you launch a book by yourself, it's hard to do. But if you launch it as someone who already has the community and people are promoting you, I think you're likely to survive and get results faster.
I think my daughter should take her animation and turn them into NFTs and start moving forward there. So, honey, we gotta get Alyssa working on this right away. Just gotta get her NFTs out, get her artwork out there so people see it, and then sell it as NFTs after she gets a little popularity.
Yeah, and then the royalties stream in. I mean, it's a little tough getting going, but the work kind of, it stands on its own, and then you build a community around the artist, or you build a community around the purpose.
All right. Kurt, Kurt, thank you again so much for being on the show tonight. I really do appreciate it. I definitely wanted to get out there, and thank you so much for answering everybody's questions. So this is cool. Now I'm excited. Now I want to go and do stuff with NFTs now. And so one day I'll be famous. I'm sure of it. And I'll
You already are. You're on YouTube, right, Roy?
That's right. I'm YouTube famous, whatever that means.
You're a YouTuber. That's the number one occupation that the kids want to do. So you're already doing it. So thanks for having me on the show. It's a great time. I love talking about this stuff. And I definitely word of caution. It's definitely fast paced, definitely mania-like. But if you're an artist, I definitely encourage you to do this because people are making, let's say, 10 grand or 20 grand or 30 grand pretty quickly. And 3 weeks later, they have a brand new collection because they want to make another 20 or 30 or $40,000. So once you build the community, it goes pretty fast. So yeah, the revenue is definitely there.
Oh, this is awesome. All right. Well, that is our show tonight. Thank you so much for everybody that came by. If you're watching this on replay, be sure to hit that subscribe button. If it shows up, fine, be that way. Oh, it showed up a little bitty. Okay. Subscribe to Kurt. Anyway, don't you hate when things like that happen? Anyway. All right. Kurt, thank you so much again for being on the show tonight. And that's our show. And then I've got to show some end screen, say goodbye to everybody. Here's a sign off. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Hey, bye. Everybody have a great night. Thanks for watching. That's a wrap. Bye.